This podcast is part of the Batman Universe Podcast Network, hosted by the BatmanUniverse.net. Check out everything related to Batman and the entire Bat family at the BatmanUniverse.net, including news and original content related to comics, movies, television, merchandise, video games, and more. Also, check out some of the other unique podcasts that TBU has to offer. Consider supporting this podcast by becoming a patron on Patreon. Even $1 can go a long way in supporting this content that you enjoy. Look for a link over at the BatmanUniverse.net to offer your support now. And now, on with the show.
Scarecrows frightened of the clouds, laughing boys. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Shine and slip, come out to play. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Bring it on, Batman. Jump out your cave, 'cause I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Shine that signal, come out and play. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Bring it on.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 254 of It's All Tim's Fault. I am Tim, the one to blame, but joining me, as always, on this one is Dane. Dane, how's it going? And I guess I should, excuse me, if I can get the words out. It's been a while since we talked some baseball news, but in typical the misery of Oakland A's fans and the Coliseum. But I have to open the show out with some big news regarding your stadium finally. I mean, I've been anxious to hear your thoughts on it, but it looks like
Yeah.
Oakland's going to find a new home.
Yeah.
Well, you don't sound
So
too
yeah, they're
excited
moving-
about it.
To be honest, I almost just quit watching baseball entirely. I mean, the
Don't
attendance
leave me,
is
Dane.
down. The attendance is down. You get problems with umpires and all of that. But yeah, the A's are moving to, I'd say 95% chance that they're moving to Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, the writing was on the wall. You know, the A's have the lowest,
years.
the worst record in baseball right now. The worst run differential. I'm not sure because they played last night, but I'm sure it's the same. And you know, of course, the lowest average attendance or the lowest attendance in baseball. But you got to ask yourself why that is, and you know, someone, quote unquote, has destroyed the team in Oakland. You know, the past couple years, and you know, I guess is being rewarded with tax credits in Las Vegas or Nevada at the Nevada taxpayers' expense, and with a relocation to Vegas, you know. And you know, like I said, the writing was on the wall. You know, getting rid of the good players, stadium falling apart. You know, A, getting rid of good players. B, stadium falling apart. You know,
Literally.
you have the market share or the revenue sharing money. Maybe that could have gone to some players, and not field a team that's, I'm sorry to say it, but it's AAA players, right?
No, yeah, you're down there.
And you know, Coliseum is falling apart, and maybe that money could have gone to, I don't know, calling a pest control company to get rid of the possum. I don't know if you saw it. I can't remember.
Oh,
they were
I've seen
playing,
it.
but yeah, the broadcast team had to move from the
Yeah.
broadcast room because there was a possum in there.
It's going to become a possum
you know,
kingdom there now. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the stray cats and everything, right? Maybe the money could have gone to that, you know, but it's funny. The money sort of disappeared. It's weird how that happens, Tim. Um, and of course, the raising of the prices for on the season tickets and tickets in general for essentially a worse product than what you had 5 years ago, say, right? Which makes people, I don't know if you know this, Tim, but when they have to pay more for an inferior product, it doesn't make people want to buy the product.
Really?
I don't know if you know that. And
that should be a whole new business model.
And it's weird because if you hear it from the A's themselves, that's a good reason to justify the move to Las Vegas. I don't know if you know that, too, but that's the justification, and that's what makes it right? Anyway, yeah, good luck.
So could I
Yeah,
officially write you off as being an Oakland A's fan then, or a Las Vegas A's fan then? Okay.
Well, we'll get to that. But let me just say, good luck in Las Vegas. You're getting, I guess, prime real estate next to T-Mobile Arena. I think that's where the Las Vegas Golden Knights play.
Okay.
The NHL hockey team. And it's down the road from Allegiant Stadium, which is where the Las Vegas Raiders play. I don't really know if it worked out for the Raiders. I mean, I've seen all these news articles saying that it's mostly the stadium is mostly filled by fans of the visiting team.
Oh, really?
The people of Las Vegas or Nevada in general haven't really latched onto the team and made it their team. Which is really funny because the A's are hoping that 70% of Nevadans, is that correct? Yeah, 70% of people in Nevada, they're relying on 70% of people in Nevada to fill the stands, with 30% being tourists visiting Las Vegas, which, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's kind of a high number to shoot for.
Good luck with that. Also, I really don't want to get into the numbers, but kind of got to get into the numbers. So the city of Oakland offered the A's $350 million, I want to say, to stay in Oakland as tax credits, and they're getting $500 million from Las Vegas in tax credits to move there. And you're telling me you're spending $1 billion on it to build a new stadium, and you couldn't crowdsource $150 million? That kind of doesn't make sense. To move from Oakland to Las Vegas for $150 million as a difference. So I don't know. I know people are blaming. I believe her name is Shang Tao, the mayor of Oakland, for refusing to talk with the A's or to back out of talks. But you kind of got to realize that the A's were using Oakland to better bargain in Las Vegas, and that doesn't mean that they're going to actually get $500 million, which would be funny if they got the regular $350 million.
That would be.
Yeah, and then on top of that, let's say, I mean, I know Manfred has said that there will be no transfer fee, but I believe that would be $69 million a year. And collect it. I believe it's over 5 years. I'm not sure, but it'd be really funny if that sort of handshake promise fell through. Also, having to pay other teams.
It ends up being
collectively
costing them more in the end, type of deal.
Yeah, and of course, but that's okay because 70% of the stadium is going to be filled by people from Nevada, Tim. It's guaranteed. They were specifically asking for a baseball team. One of the And they were specifically asking for a team with the lowest average attendance. That's what they were specifically asking for. They weren't asking for the big NFL, one of the biggest sports in the world to move to their town. No, they weren't asking for that. They were asking for uh, a sport that is being it's it's kind of on its way down, popularity wise. I mean, come on, you got two of your best players on an awful team that probably won't make the playoffs this year. And
But thankfully, the best player is still on a team that'll be in the playoffs. We got that.
Yeah. But of course, 70% of Nevadans will show up. Of course, let's bank on that. And I don't know. I guess the last thing I'll say is, before I get to the future, is I think the one thing that people forget, people talk about the A's and how they've all of a sudden found money to move from Oakland to Las Vegas, and people talk about the fans, how heartbroken the Oakland fans are, right? But I think the people that you really got to feel sorry for is the people that work at the Coliseum, the vendors, the concessions, the ushers, the security guards that are going to be losing their jobs because of greed. Let's just flat out say it, for greed. And apparently, working for the A's working at the Coliseum was a good job. And
the one good thing about the Coliseum, I guess.
The one good thing about the Coliseum, and it's one thing that people forget about. It's really sad, and it's really pitiful, and it's just really bad all around. And you know what? Good luck in Las Vegas. I hope you get the 70% of Nevadans that are going to show up to your stadium. I'm not even sure the Yankees, one of the biggest franchises in the world, get 70% of New Yorkers to show up on a Wednesday morning game. So
yeah.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah, you really went into the deep dive in the numbers and all that stuff and how it's gonna work and probably not work. But I would just go into the thing. Hey, they're finally getting out of the Coliseum. Like, it's got a fresh new start. But
yeah.
When I saw, that's all I really looked at it as.
Yeah, no, thank you. This is.
I mean, they had to get out of there, though. That's the thing. It's like they couldn't stay there any more longer than what they already have.
Are you talking about the Coliseum, or are you talking about Oakland?
The
Coliseum.
Coliseum.
The Coliseum, of course. Yeah. And so, where are they going to play when the lease runs out in 2024? The stadium isn't going to be built. Isn't going to start building until 2024. Oh, let's move it to our minor league stadium. Yeah, that'll work.
Play minor league players, so I guess they'll feel right at home.
Yep, I guess so. And I believe it's the Los Angeles Chargers did that. They played at a college stadium before the SoFi Stadium was built. But I guess that worked for them. I mean, I don't know their attendance numbers for the Chargers. I know Los Angeles, didn't really want the Chargers there. They wanted the Rams, but they didn't want the Chargers there. But I don't really follow football, and I'm not sure about the fan support. But yeah, I'm done with the A's. I feel sorry for their fans. I really feel sorry for their fans, and more than anything, I feel sorry for the people that work for the A's in the back office, and all the people that worked at the Coliseum. It's really heartbreaking that the A's, they just couldn't pay more money. That's it. Just shelve the money, move into Howard Terminal, and it would have been all fine. But no, to do this big move to Las Vegas because they think Las Vegas is the promised land of professional sports in America. But yeah, it's sad. Yeah, that's all I'll say. So
Okay, wow, not the reaction I was expecting.
yeah, it's bad. It's sad. It's pitiful. Like I said. So like I said in the beginning, I was about ready to just stop following baseball. It's like I know they do the pitch thing now, and it's sped up the games, but games are still way too long.
It's a lot better though. So
yeah,
usually when I get home
35
from work,
minutes?
I got like most of the game to see, but now when I come back, it's already almost over. I mean, it is good to have these shorter games, and I think the new rules have been like really good.
Yeah, and I'd agree with you. So I was ready to quit baseball because baseball takes a part of your soul really. And doesn't give you anything back really. If you're asking me.
Well, with your experience, the last few years I could see that, but that's what makes it so great. You get so invested, and when you're disappointed by your teams or the way your teams run, it hits you personally on a level that few things do.
Yeah, but
Just come on my side, Dan. Just root with the Yankees. Come on. What harm is that?
You're close, Tim. Well, you're close. I went back to the Mets. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Mets are the reason I got into baseball. The Mets are the reason why I got into baseball, and the '86 Mets are the reason I got into baseball. So yeah, that's me now. Which is funny because the first game I watched, Scherzer got suspended for 10 games.
Right.
But yeah.
Good old sticky stuff, or whatever he was using.
Yeah, like what was he using?
That's what we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the broadcast saying like he was using the stickiness from tape because they were taping the pitch counter to his fingers on his glove hand.
Like a combination of sweat or something, but
yeah, like how would you transfer that from your left hand to your right hand if you're a right-handed pitcher?
Kept saying he was washing it too when he would come back.
Yeah, with alcohol, and there'll be representative watching it.
Yeah.
So
either way, there's still something on there.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, are we officially closing the book?
I don't really want to. I don't really want to follow an American League team. Obviously, you know why. Even though there's more games now that are being played, back and forth. So
yeah, the more balanced schedule.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is a monumental episode, Dan. You're officially closing the book on your Oakland A's fandom, which I think at the beginning of the podcast we started, like the first year or two, you were still with the Mets.
Las Vegas A's, you mean? Oh. Las Vegas A's. Tim.
I'm sorry.
Because it has a nice ring, Tim. Tim, it has a nice ring. Don't you think so?
Las Vegas A's.
Nice ring.
It does.
Las Vegas A's. And
the LVAs.
The LVAs. And that's really what's going to get people to 70% of Nevadans are going to fill the stadium.
We'll see what cool new logo or designs that come up for the A's now in Vegas.
Yeah.
Will they still have the green color too? Maybe it's going to be a whole different. Maybe there'll be a whole different look.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I was reading. It's like, of course they're gonna keep the A's name, right? They're not gonna rename the team or whatever. It's not gonna be like the Las Vegas, I don't know, slot machines or whatever. And it's gonna be a slot machine on the hat or whatever.
Now I really want them to change their name to the slot machine. That would be great.
But yeah, maybe a brand change is what the A's need.
Maybe that's what's been holding them back all these years.
Yeah. It's weird how they found money, Tim, to do this. It's really weird.
Maybe they found it in Vegas in a slot machine. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they just found it in the Nevada desert somewhere. They just it was just buried and they dug it up. Maybe that's where they found it, and maybe that's where they found it. It's funny how there's money now. Huh?
Let the conspiracy theories begin.
Weird. That's so weird. I mean, you would think that there would have been money in the past, to I don't know, maybe not offer Marcus Semien, one of the pillars of your team at that time, to stick around, not offer him $1 million over 11 years. Yeah, and not even reach that qualifying offer, or to pay Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Mark Canna, Leon Hendricks. It's weird how there's money all of a sudden to not only pay a transfer fee, but to build a $1 billion stadium. A $1 billion stadium. Yeah. A $1.5 billion stadium. Don't worry, the $500 million is going to be taken care of. You just got to pay them $1 billion.
What a coincidence.
Anyway.
Well, you got that off your chest, Tom. Fine. Now you can move on officially.
Yeah. And there's things to be, I don't know, positive about with baseball, with the Mets. The Mets actually have a stadium that's decent. that's not
modern.
That's in the 21st century.
And they have the richest owner in baseball who will spend money. So the complete opposite end of the spectrum with Oakland.
Yeah, you would think a billionaire would be able to pay players on the A's. You would think a billionaire would be able to do that, but I'm not sure about that. Tim, I'm not a billionaire. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, really?
But,
all this time?
Yeah.
I was assuming that you were a millionaire.
I'm not a millionaire, Tim, either. There's positive things to look forward to with the Mets. The Mets are the reason why I got into baseball. Like I said, you got Verlander, even though he's hurt. Scherzer, even though he's suspended. You got Lindor.
Hey, Pete Alonso,
Canna again,
leading the league in home runs again.
Alonso, a guy that doesn't look like a baseball player, I would say. Starling Marte, Nimmo, who I constantly want to call Nemo.
Yeah. But you know what the best part is about Pete Alonso? He's a big 311 fan. He actually had the lead singer from 311, Nick Hexum, come and to do some batting practice stuff and visit the clubhouse.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised he's not your favorite player in Major League Baseball, too.
Well, maybe I'll be my favorite, but I totally respect him more so than maybe some other players because of that.
Yeah. So if the Yankees trade for Alonso, are you going to be super happy? Not only because he's a great baseball player, but because he's a 311 fan.
Yes, of course. No, I have yet to hear if doesn't use any of their songs to walk up to, which is disappointing. But
I didn't hear when I was watching the Mets play the Giants last night, but I don't see why you wouldn't if you're a 311 fan.
You should, yes.
Yeah. But there's positive stuff to look forward to. It's probably got my favorite player on the Mets. My favorite player in baseball is on the Mets, which is Mark Canna. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good.
I can leave all that I'm surprised I didn't swear, Tim. I'm surprised I didn't swear accidentally.
Bring out that edit button out
I
for the first time on the
yeah,
podcast.
I am happy to have all that BS behind me. Yeah.
Well, it was a bumpy road. It was pretty much all bumps on your Oakland fandom during the course of the years you were following them. But greener pastures now as you're back on the East Coast with a New York team. So even though it's the Mets, glad to have you on as a back as a fan for a New York team.
So if there's a Subway Series thing, we're not going to talk. We're not going to do the podcast, right, until it's over.
Of course. So then whoever wins the Subway Series, and something we'll have to work something out. The loser has to do something if they don't want to.
Right. Anyway, ran over. Sorry.
It's almost 25 minutes of Dane lamenting about the Oakland/Las Vegas A's. Hey, it's all good. You got to get it out.
Yeah, I feel better now, Tim.
Good.
And I feel better to be back with the Mets.
It all ends on a positive note. That's what we do here.
You know, and I mean, I'm not one to praise an owner, but it's great to see an owner that actually puts his money where his mouth is.
Exactly.
And spends his money. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with the A's. What happens with the A's? I completely doubt that this move is going to help. Maybe the ownership, the team will make their money back in real estate deal that they're doing. Real estate wise. Because I mean that was the big controversy too in Oakland, where it's really petty and stupid. But one of the big things was they would have to build a condo, right? And on the land surrounding the Howard Terminal Stadium, the big controversy was the affordable housing units. And the percentage of affordable housing units that they would have to have, according to state law and stuff, or city law or whatever. And I mean that's just petty. If you don't really want affordable units in your condo building, it's like you don't want poor people living next to you. So yeah. Anyway.
Well. I guess a good way to end the baseball conversation is, as we're talking right now, the Yankees just won their game with a walk-off single to beat the Blue Jays. So we're all in a positive mood right here.
Well, Tim, it is the Blue Jays. So.
Well, the Blue Jays have been pretty good, though. And they've been mouthing off on the Yankees, too, so I'm glad they won this game. But with that, I guess we can move on to the complete opposite from baseball to Lord of the Rings. I can't make any baseball and analogies right now.
Yeah, before we get to that, am I wrong? I mean, when this whole Ace thing happened, it sort of reminded me that, with all due respect, I remember when, what did, forget what I was going to say. What did wow, I completely
out of mind blown there.
What did Judge have? How many homers did Judge have that quote unquote unofficially broke the home run record?
62.
62.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had 62 at the end of the year.
Yes.
He didn't hit anymore.
No,
okay.
That was it.
Okay. Am I justified in thinking, like, who cares?
Nope. Because I really care about it. To me, that is the home run record. I mean, it's legit. So in my book, and I know many other fans' books, even though it might not be officially in the baseball records, and all right, that's he's the home run king.
Yeah, but I mean, Major League Baseball sort of ruins the home run race thing. Well, right?
The steroid players ruined it. Majority of obviously baseball for taking forever to act on it did so, but
yeah,
it's up to the fans to how they view it, and I'm definitely viewing it as a huge achievement.
Okay.
And regardless of it is the American League home run record.
Yeah.
Regardless of steroids or not that. So
Right. How is Donaldson doing?
he's on the IL, so not great.
Did he
Even
play this
before
year?
that.
Or,
You feel a little bit, even before that. Not great.
yeah. That tends to happen to A's players that that leave. But yeah, anyway, sorry to sidetrack us.
All right. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, commentary. Minute 41 through minute 42. As always, grab your DVD player, or your DVD disc, I should say, your VHS tape, your Betamax, your Laserdisc, your HD DVD, and I was going to say your Netflix physical media. This is going to be an option that's not going to be available to anyone because it was just, I think, announced this week. They're just I forget, like they're sending out their last one this month or something like that, but it's officially going away. So that is officially now a dead media format.
Yeah. Gone are the days where, you send away for the first disc of the Batman the Animated Series DVD box set.
And then patiently wait for the next disc and the next disc.
Send it back and then get the next one and then send it back.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience there, Dane.
I am. And then you sort of forget that you have it, and then you realize and then you find the red envelope, and it's like, oh wow, I forgot to send this back. It's been 7 months.
So yeah, R.I.P.
So I guess we can't say that anymore.
No, but it's a dead media. We're talking about all the stuff we can't use. So, but now it's officially dead. So we got to keep it
officially.
Yeah. Just like your blog. Go ahead.
I wonder how many people still did that.
I know. I'm curious to see the numbers on that.
Yeah, like 5,000 maybe.
I bet it's more than expected.
Yeah, it would have to be if they kept it around for so long.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So, but I guess you can still get your Blockbuster video membership rental at that one store that's still left. So that's not officially dead yet either. But it outlasted Netflix. Hey, Blockbuster can claim that. And as always, the DVHS, but then our favorite copy, your DVD or VHS to DVD converted burn copy that you made on your PC converted version of Lord of the Rings. So if you got all that, we're at the 41-minute mark, and I'll give the countdown if you're ready, Dane.
Is that illegal to do that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Did you say UMD?
I did not say UMD. Thank you for reminding me. So yes,
yeah.
your many 10, 20 UMD discs to watch just the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready now, Tim. As I see Gandalf's face in shock.
Yes. As do I. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. He's still in shock there.
Yeah.
Frodo's face of terror. But then Frodo gets his courage.
You see, Gandalf and Frodo's face, shocked, was my reaction in seeing actual Major League Baseball players play with the Mets. That's what my face was like. Seeing people actually get hits, score runs, pitch good. Yeah, that was my face then.
So, well, now I have a good visual point of your reaction to seeing what baseball could be. And see, you made a good connection to our baseball discussion to Lord of the Rings. I'm proud of you, Dane.
I did it.
A very appropriate one, too. So this, like, you being like Frodo off the run, a bit leaving to join Oakland to A's to go be a Mets fan. It's like your Frodo journey there.
Oh my God. I'm taking one of those giant moths straight to Mordor, to New York. I'm not walking, I'm not taking a long way. I'm going straight there, and I don't care if the eye sees me and attacks me with those flying Nazguls. No, I'm going straight.
Yes, if you're traveling with the Great
Yeah.
Eagles, you should get there very safe hands and very quickly too.
Oh, sorry, it's an eagle. I thought it was a moth.
Well, Gandalf used like a
Giant
moth to communicate to.
Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought it turned into a big, big moth.
No.
My bad.
We'll get to that once we get to that scene, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's in. No, that's in the Two Towers, right?
No, it's in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Because he has this fight with Sauron,
Oh.
and then he gets trapped on the top of Isengard.
No.
And then when
I'm
he goes
thinking,
to,
I'm getting. Yeah,
he tells the story when he
I'm
meets
getting my
Frodo back in
things
Rivendell.
confused. Yeah, yeah, and then there's that Bilbo jump out. I turned into a
Yeah.
Count Dracula for a second thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
All the stuff we have to look forward to. Well, I mean, it's going to be a while, but
yeah.
we're making progress.
One more thing on baseball before we move on. I am so glad I didn't cheap out like I did last year and get the single team MLB
Oh, yeah.
TV package.
Uh,
I'm glad I went.
well, imagine being
I
stuck.
actually put down the money. Yeah,
Imagine being stuck just with the Oakland A games for this year.
I'm so glad that I bought the full package. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack us
And
yet again.
speaking, but you're not saving that much really when you just do the single team. When I was looking into that, I thought it'd be a lot cheaper, but it's only like $20 cheaper. Though I might as well just pay an extra 20 to get to see every team.
Yeah. And you know what? They should just make it a little more expensive, just so that you can get it ad free. On demand. If you're watching it on demand, you can get it ad free.
Mm.
But yeah, like that's the one thing about the service is they leave the ads in there.
Yeah, who wants to see those?
Yeah. It wouldn't be so bad if it was the same ad over again.
Right.
Same ads. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to sidetrack us yet again. One more thing. Sorry. And I believe you'll agree. So I didn't know that on Xbox, MLB The Show was free.
Oh yeah, that's how I've been playing it.
I've really been enjoying the Negro Leagues
Me too.
this year.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Man, I am stuck on one right now though.
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of challenging too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's mainly with the hitters, where you just have to hit a home run in the game, and I haven't been able to do that yet. So that's where I'm stuck at right
maybe
now.
you gotta turn the sliders down or turn down the difficulty or whatever.
Yeah, because it's on casual
can
or
you
rookie
do
play. And then I tried doing that
Yeah.
in the settings on there. It's like it's all set already, I think, for that particular mode. But it's like I want to get through it to see all the stories on the rest of the players, but they're all locked until you complete that one mission or that one mission for it. So
Yeah, that one mission where you gotta like get 3 strikeouts in a row, or you gotta like, strike out the entire side. And,
it's cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. And I like how they have like the video packages before and give you like a history about like to be honest, part of baseball that I had no idea about. And it's man, that's how you really like keep people coming back to your game year after year, even though it's kind of sort of the same product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you compare one to the other, like the 22 to the 23. So yeah, I mean that's a great game.
Yeah, I mean it's worth playing just for that mode.
Yeah.
Graphics are amazing. It's fun, and then you just learn the history of that league that not too many people or probably fans don't know about.
Yeah, especially the Negro Leagues, missions. It's like those aren't accurate to where like the Negro Leagues were playing, right?
Not sure how accurate like the stadiums we created for the games are. I'm sure they
Yeah.
tried to be though, but I can't be 100%
Yeah, but
sure.
I actually like the Negro League stadiums better than I like the actual current stadiums.
I just
Yeah,
love
like
that
the
classic
graphics are really
feel.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it just feels like
Graphics
baseball.
graphics are really nice. I like how they give you different options for like pitching and hitting and fielding and stuff.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean you can really customize it to how you want to play in your play
you
style,
want
which is great. I did
yeah.
try Road to the Show where I created my own player and used the face scan to put my face on there. But my career's not going too good. I mean, to be fair,
Really?
it takes a while for you to get called up to the majors. So I do a lot of the just simulation to see how I do. I mean, I do okay,
Yeah.
but haven't gotten the call to the big leagues. But then I've done it. I've
Are
simmed
you
like up
doing
to.
are you doing the random team or are you specifically going for the Yankees?
I specifically did the Yankees, yeah.
Uh,
But I stopped because I got to a point where the Yankees aren't offering me a contract anymore. So it's like these other
oh
teams
really?
are giving me contracts. Like, no.
Oh,
I
so you're
did
gonna
get
get
promoted to AAA, but I haven't cracked the big leagues yet.
uh so you became a restricted free agent in the minor leagues?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got contract offers for like the Astros or the Phillies, and I'm like, no, definitely not going to the Astro. But
I wonder if you go to the Astros and you make the big league club. I wonder if you can hear the trash cans
yeah,
being banged.
I was just saying that
Wonder if they
because
added that aspect in MLB The Show.
oh, it's awesome. Yeah, because I don't know if you tried that mode, but obviously when you're not playing, it shows you like the hub area is you're in the clubhouse of the stadium that you're in. So it's funny if you're just sitting there going to the menus and you just hear some random banging going on. The Astros.
No, I like the season modes. You know, like taking the Oakland A's to the World Series, which will never happen,
Right.
and
That's the only way you can live
you
out
know,
that
like
reality.
trading for Mike Trout.
Yeah. That's gotta be the best part, doing all the things the Oakland A's will never ever do. And seeing what
Never,
it would be like.
never ever did. Yeah. Have one good player.
But yeah, the game's great.
Yeah,
I want to try to finish the Negro Leagues mode before Jedi Survivor comes out this week, but again, I'm stuck on trying to hit that one home run. I tried doing it for like an hour and I came close. And there was the previous uh, quest that or mission I had to complete was get 2 extra base hits, and that one extra base hit I got was a home run, and then move on to where I have to actually hit a home run. I can't do it now.
who is that for?
What's his name? It's the 4th one that I'm on right now.
Josh Gibson. It's not Josh Gibson. Right?
I don't think so. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
But it's the 4th player on there. I completed 3 of them so far, and I'm going in order too.
I see. I can't remember which one I'm on. I think I'm on second one.
Because the first 3 were pitchers. Well, no, the second one I think it was a 2-way player. He was a pitcher and a hitter.
Right. Yeah,
I think it's Hank
the second
Thompson
one and
I'm
the third
on.
one. Okay.
Because the third one was Rube Foster, who was like the executive / player, where he was like
Oh yeah,
part of the ownership that
big
started
guy.
the Negro Leagues and of the team. Yeah.
Yeah, the big guy.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I gotta get back on that before Jedi Survivor comes out. I totally forgot it came out this week. I thought it came
I
out
know.
next week. But they I guess they want to create some space for not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Which that reminds me of your surprise text I got from you.
Yeah,
You actually
yeah,
pre-ordered
that's
it.
right.
What did it, Dave? There had to be something that made you want to pre-order it now.
I don't know, FOMO, I guess. No,
the last
I
trailer
was
we
just
got?
thinking about no, because I didn't really watch any of the trailers. I just saw clips. Like you can create anything,
Mhm.
in this game. So
Yeah, the item fusion or the weapon fusion stuff too. That I was trying to convince you was going to be a really cool future.
yeah. I don't know. Like I'm a fan of open world games. I just love a good open world game that you can just play forever. Like the last three Assassin's Creed games, Origins, um, Origins, Ragnarok, and Odyssey, and just like exploring the world. I mean, those ones have the benefit of being sort of historically accurate. Like in Origins, they pretty much made ancient Egypt. I mean, not on
Yeah.
a one-to-one scale, but condensed a little bit. But I'm a fan of open world games and exploring them. I would be a huge. I mean, it would be a huge mistake to not say that Breath of the Wild is one of the greatest open world games ever made. Um, one of the prettiest too, also. And as a fan of open world games, yeah, that's one of the best open world games. I have to say, even though
Yes.
again, weapon degradation and
Despite all that, yes.
being almost one hit by everything in the beginning of the game, but it's like you said, Tim. I sort of realized that. Yeah, it does kind of play into the whole aspect of realism,
Mhm.
and like that whole stamina bar thing too. It plays into the realism thing, and even though to me it does go overboard, way overboard with weapon degradation and the stamina and being one hit by almost everything early on in the game, it would be dumb for me to deny that. It is one of the greatest games ever made. B, probably the best open world map game that's been made so far. In terms of like crafting, exploring, and that whole aspect of. I mean, you can. An easy way to tell if open world game is really good is to just have your character stop and do nothing, and just hear the ambient noise and the graphics and what's going on in your field of view. And I feel that Breath of the Wild does that really well.
Yes. Without question.
So yeah,
So
that's
I'm glad you came
that's
to your
why I
senses.
pre-ordered. That's why I pre-ordered Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't know. Nintendo is sort of like Naughty Dog, where they just put out a refined, well done product. At least with Breath of the Wild, with Mario, and yeah. So with Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like they're gonna refine it, and if I'm wrong, I'm only $70 wrong.
Just that.
So I mean, I didn't go out and buy that new Switch, the OLED Switch that people are trying to buy up really fast.
Yeah, there is that special Zelda edition one where it's like it looks really cool, but I could really justify a purchase of that right now. If it enhanced like the visual quality of playing it through the dock and the TV, then yeah, but like usually pretty much only the enhancements are when you're playing it out of the dock in handheld mode, which I won't be doing too much.
In the handheld mode,
Yeah.
you're gonna be playing it on your TV.
Yes. There might be some
Yeah.
times where I just like I'm trying to complete if there's like a lot of side quests and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
watching a baseball game or something like that. Maybe I'll take it out and play it through the handheld mode, because that's what I did sometimes with Breath of the Wild.
I just wish there was a way to easily plug in your charger to the Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is kind of
Well,
an inconvenient spot in the dock. It's like off
Yeah.
to the side. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's why I pre-ordered Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm glad to hear it. Now we could be talking to each other about it
Yeah.
and giving our impressions when it finally comes out, which Jedi Survivor begins the gauntlet of amazing games I need to play all in a row. It's going to be tough.
I know. I'm not looking forward to rushing through that.
I mean,
through,
I think I'm
Survivor.
going to have to do with Jedi Survivor something I don't want to do,
Yeah.
but I think I have to, is play it on story focus mode.
Yeah, just play it on the easiest mode and just hit those big story moments.
Exactly.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
If it was anything else other than a Zelda or Final Fantasy, I wouldn't do it. But those are the two greatest video game franchises for me. So
Yeah.
we don't get them very often. So when they come out, I gotta play it right away.
Yeah, even that. I mean, like I said, like I'm a fan of open world games and like doing side quests and stuff. But like Survivor, you're just sticking to the main thing unless there's a character you really want to see.
It does seem like it's going to be bigger though than more open than the first game was. So that's why I think it's
I know.
probably going to be a little lengthier than the first one. So
I don't know about that, but yeah, just stick to the main story and the main plot points, and hopefully we'll beat it by.
we got
Tears of the
exactly
Kingdom
2 weeks.
I can do it.
And from, well, yeah, I'm notoriously slow in video games, especially when it comes to my pet peeve of playing and watching things in the daytime, which cuts some hours off. And now that it takes longer to get dark, that cuts time too. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the Zelda, I have a month, just about a month, maybe like a month and a week before Final Fantasy 16 comes out. And that, the Tears of the Kingdom, man, that's going to be so huge. That's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie about finishing that one before Final Fantasy 16. And Final Fantasy 16 looks awesome. So
Yeah,
it's great to have all these games.
Open world too, right?
Yeah, more so than any other Final Fantasy game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch that state of play they had for it like a week ago? Where they kind of.
I just watched a little bit of the combat. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks fun. Not to mention Street Fighter 6 comes out, I think, sandwiched between Zelda and Final Fantasy. And I love Street Fighter. This one seems really cool too. So, and
I don't
also,
know. Tim, I still think they're gonna do what they did with 5.
Like they had to learn their lesson. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be some DLC stuff, but not as much as it was for 5.
I don't know. In this video game world we're living in, I think it's gonna be like 5, and we're not gonna have like all the characters.
Yeah, we know it's not going to be all, but hopefully it's more and the content enough to satisfy to where you don't relying on that DLC stuff to feel fulfilled.
What if they made an open world Street Fighter game?
There is not open world, but there's more of like a story mode to it. This one where you create your own character and you develop his like fighting style, his look and all that, and you kind of make your way, I guess, through the tournament. So there is more of a story focus than ever before in a Street Fighter game, which should be cool.
Yeah. Also, which version of Tears of the Kingdom did you buy?
I'm just gonna get the digital. I'm just gonna get the digital version, the basic one. I mean,
you're not getting like the store exclusive, like.
No, they're pretty much all gone anyway.
Or...
The collector's edition have been sold out forever. So.
I see. And then which edition did you get? A Survivor, just the regular?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of getting. I have a pre-order. Yeah, I got to do that this week, but it's like I'm in no rush to pre-order things now since I get pretty much all digital unless there's a really great collector's edition that comes out, but that's rarely the case, and when there is, they're gone pretty quickly. So, but with Jedi Survivor, since I'm on Game Pass and it's part of Game Pass is connected with EA Play, you get like $10 off of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, with that $10 off, should I just get like the deluxe edition to get some of those more customizable features? Because there's going to be a lot more customizations in this game than the first one, especially with Cal as a character and BD. So should I do that? But then plus I got like enough Microsoft rewards points to generate a $10 off gift card, so I might use that for it too. So maybe I might get the deluxe.
$20 off.
Yeah,
$20 off the deluxe. That's pretty much the price of the standard, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then do you know what the pre-order bonuses are for?
It's mainly cosmetic stuff, like for customization. Yeah, and your lightsaber.
I see. Okay.
Then I'm
also
also
pre-order that one.
Yeah, I just got this week too the Final Fantasy Pixel Collection, the remaster that finally came out on consoles. I got that on the Switch.
What is that?
It's pretty much Final Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy 1 through 6. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're just.
So it's not like a full remaster.
No, they upgraded the graphics. Yeah, the pixel, it looks really good. Still has that classic old school feel to it, but looks nice on modern TVs and consoles. So I want to play those too. So eventually, after all this gauntlet of awesome new games comes out, I'll go back to replaying all the old school Final Fantasy games on there because I've been waiting for this for so long to have them all on a console and then cool remastered too. I wish they put it on Xbox, but they didn't. But I now have them all to where they're easily accessible, which I'm excited about. So yeah, a lot of stuff to look forward to in gaming, where last year was the opposite, where there was maybe 2 new games I played last year. Yeah. They're pretty much Turtles. Shredder's Revenge and the Cowabunga Collection were my highlights of gaming last year.
Yeah, you know what Square Enix should do, Tim? They should remaster and re-release Final Fantasy VII. Oh, wait, they did that. Right? Oh, no, wait, it was only half the game. A quarter of the game.
But it was worth it. I have no complaints. I have 0 complaints about how they're doing it.
So when's that part 2 coming out?
It says winter 23. So it could be very end, or it could be. I'm guessing it's going to be early 2024, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, it's probably winter 27, but most likely.
No, it's pretty far along now. It's pretty far along. This is probably the only time where I was kind of hoping for one more delay for either Zelda or Final Fantasy 16, just so I can have a bigger gap between those two. But no,
was Zelda delayed?
What's that?
Was Zelda delayed?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last year in 22.
Ah, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Speaking of delays, though, man, what's the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League from Rocksteady? That has just been a disaster. Jeez.
Wow. Okay. So wait for the reviews on that one.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, it's gonna be a game I'm gonna wait to go on sale, probably. But unless it gets amazing reviews across the board. But I've said before how the concept has never really appealed to me as far as what the game is story wise, but the gameplay. I think that last demo they had on the PlayStation State of Play just rubbed everyone the wrong way, just how basic it looked, and then I'll have to be online all the time and more like microtransaction focus, or not still doing that type of thing where it's like nope. So I assume this delay is taking all that stuff out and maybe making the gameplay a little more better than what they showed off.
So what was the big controversy for that gameplay trailer that they released? Was it just the
it just felt very basic and generic, just a basic third-person shooter type game. And I think it's more it has to do with having like all the added stuff that's like the added having to be online all the time and the microtransaction type stuff and those type of games where loot crates and all that stuff. I'm not sure if it's specifically that's what's in there, but that's similar type of thing. So like where the gameplay is going to be focused on, which I absolutely hate.
Yeah, loot boxes. Could you imagine if MLB The Show did that with like the Negro League stuff?
Well, yeah.
Like you gotta buy Josh Gibson's part
bat or something in order to play. You have to buy his bat.
I don't know. Yeah, so wait for the review on that one because that doesn't look like it's gonna be. I don't know. It's going to be anything that would be interesting.
Yeah, it's just like that, Rocksteady off the amazing job they did with the Arkham games. That this one, just having so much delays and trouble getting the game actually out there. So, and even the main heads of Rocksteady, they've left. Was it Saffron Henderson? I think his name was. Like, I'm not sure if he's like sticking around for the end of this development, but I know he's leaving Rocksteady. So. We'll see what the future holds for them as a studio, but this might be their last big hurrah.
I wonder what's been delaying this game. I wonder if it's
before all this stuff. I know
it would have to be an essential problem, right?
You would think
the actual gameplay itself, the combating or whatever. Yeah, we'll see.
Definitely a lot to look forward to in video games in this year, that's for sure. and
Yeah,
we'll be
not
sure to
really
talk about
looking
it.
forward to. Not really looking forward to rushing through Jedi Survivor. But
Yeah, so hopefully doing on story focus mode will be a good balance of not rushing through it, but getting through it enough time for Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah, hopefully it's
shall
60,
see.
60 FPS. You
You're
know?
probably gonna have to choose
Yeah,
performance or
but
digital.
I mean, I'd rather have it at 60 FPS than, oh, that sunset looks really cool. It's too bad I'm looking at pictures.
As we always say, why can't they with these new consoles? Why can't it just be both?
I think it's because PC gaming has really
That's a
like
good point.
outplayed the console manufacturers, right? And like things look amazing on PC, but with the console you can't really change anything. So
Exactly.
yeah, the PC, I don't know, hardware stuff just moved way faster than they could get out the PS5 or the Xbox Series, whatever we're on. Xbox Series X1 53. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what I'm looking at right now. That white box. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Series S, if it's the white one.
Yeah, the Series S 5.713X31 360, right? Is that what it's called?
You're not too far off.
Anyway, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack us.
I think that's the theme of this episode. Sidetracked.
Yeah. Sidetrack
fun.
after sidetrack.
But fun talks nonetheless, though. But so, Dane, we had the finale for The Mandalorian Season 3 this last week. I take it you watched it?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Which is funny because my girlfriend has.
Oh, really?
And she really liked it.
She's more of a Star Wars fan than you are.
I guess
as
I'm a
fact
fake
now.
fan too.
Yes, I'm
Tim,
so
you
disappointed.
call me a fake fan. I've called you out on it for not liking certain things. You can go ahead and call me a fake fan.
You are a fake fan from here on out.
No. I guess I'm just gonna have to play Jedi Survivor on easy mode and rush through it.
Well, I can't call you out on that since I'll be doing the same thing. So I can just call you out on the Mandalorian. But I will say I loved it. It was not the finale I was expecting, but that's part of what made it great, in my opinion. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Can you confirm or deny one thing?
Sure, if you don't mind having that confirmed or denied, I'll be happy to.
I don't care about being spoiled on it.
Right.
Does the Mandalorian die?
He does not, which
Okay.
I am so thankful for, because that was a big worry I had going into it.
Yeah.
Because did you
So
see some of the? I was gonna say, did you see some of the social media posts by some of those involved? Like one of the actors who plays Mando in the suit, Brendan Wayne, kept.
Yeah.
He said like that ominous Instagram post about saying, "Be careful what you wish for in more episodes. Like it just might hurt too much from when you actually watch it." I was like, "Oh boy."
Yeah. So like, what I was thinking is, from this season, these last couple of episodes, it looks like they're building for up to Bo-Katan being the Mandalorian, and I thought they were going to switch things up and. Or at the very least, like make Din Djarin sort of background character, which they have been doing in these past couple of episodes. But,
for the majority of the season, yeah, but these last two, I think, where we kind of felt like the previous season, where he was back to being like the main focus, and that was the case again in the finale.
Yeah, and so like I thought they were going to kill him off and then have Bo-Katan be the guy person, and then I was thinking maybe not, maybe like they're just gonna have Din Djarin be a background character, sort of like Greek Karga or something. Just have him pop in a couple of episodes because Pedro Pascal is this big actor now. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah, okay.
Again, I mean, I got kind of worried about that too, as far as like Pedro Pascal's availability, and then you've heard rumors too about, oh, he's not happy, and that just ended up being a thing that happened at the very
False.
beginning. And it's like there was something that happened at the very beginning of the series where they were negotiating his pay for the first season, as far as not wanting to pay him the full amount as an actor, since he was mainly just being the voiceover, but he wanted to get paid as like the lead actor for it, which they had worked out and did. I kind of read that was kind of the reason why they showed his face in the season 1 finale, but that's all worked out, so that wasn't really the case. But you heard all those rumblings, and then him just being involved with all these different projects. But at the same time, it's like they easily could work around that because, as we said, there's 2 other people who mainly play Din Djarin in the Mandalorian suit throughout the course of the season. So it shouldn't be too big of a factor for him to do some voiceover to still being the main character. So yeah, because I was real worried about that going into it. I was like really anxious, like, oh, yeah, they're gonna do this, and if they do it, it has to be done perfectly and really well if they're gonna kill off your main character only in your 3rd season, who's become a fan favorite character already.
I don't know why they just don't do that totally, where it's just like, just have a body double, and then Pedro Pascal can just do the voiceover, because he's not supposed to take off his helmet, right?
Exactly.
So why are you paying? You know, I mean, like, why does he have to be there? Why can't he just do the voiceover? Like, just do that totally.
Which, I don't know, maybe don't. Yeah. But again, like you said, it opens him up to do more other projects, like with The Last of Us, obviously. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was very satisfying finale.
I want the Bo-Katan show. I want the Mandalorian to be the Bo-Katan show, and then we can have Ahsoka. Sure.
Yeah, well, we'll see how with the eventual series, how they move forward. Maybe that might be a possibility, especially when they're all leading up to this big movie that we're gonna get. So maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bo-Katan gets their like own spin-off series with how things ended here. I'll say that.
Okay.
But
and I mean,
I'll leave that to see for yourself.
See, what they did with Bo-Katan in this series is what they got right with Boba Fett, right? Just make a really cool armor set. And I feel like they've done that. And then now they can just build the story around her.
Yeah. Give them a character arc, which she really got in this season over the course of the last 2 when she first showed up in season 2.
Yeah. You know what I noticed? Remind me, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Clone Wars, Bo-Katan's hair doesn't show, right? Out of the bottom of her helmet.
No, it doesn't. No.
Yeah. I don't know. I just noticed that in the TV show. I mean, in the Mandalorian.
Does it show a little bit?
Her hair. Yeah.
I haven't noticed that actually.
In the Mandalore, when they all go back to Mandalore, in that episode, like I could see it. And I was like, hey, how come her hair is poking out in the bottom? But I mean, minor thing. And I mean, she has that helmet off anyway, so it's not like it matters.
One other thing I'll say on the finale, not to build it up too much, but one of the coolest action sequences you can see in Star Wars, and that goes for movies too. It was really cool. Yes.
Mandalorians flying around. That's all you need.
I mean, it's not too far or not too hard to think of where it could go, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's all you really need is Mandalorians flying around really coolly.
Yes. Oh, we got that.
Okay.
And am I safe to assume too you yet to watch the Bad Batch finale if you haven't seen the Mando one?
Bad Batch. I can't get into the season. I don't know what it is.
But you watched the majority of it. You got to finish it off.
I know.
It is some of the best.
There's something
stuff
about
too.
the season. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing on Twitter, reading on Twitter, and I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is.
Come on, Dave. Just plow through these last.
It's a mystery to me. I know. It's just a mystery to me why I can't get into the season for some reason.
It disappointed me, Dane.
Now, confirm for me one thing. Does Rampart come back?
No, he doesn't.
He has one of the best voices. Like the voice actor that they
Uh,
got for him. Yeah, it's like one of the best Star Wars voices. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's so ominous or whatever. But
well, there's another,
yeah,
that new doctor who kind of took Rampart's place as the villain. His voice is even more
yeah.
sinister and ominous. He's a heavy breather too. You notice you can hear him breathing a lot as he says his dialogue.
Let's see.
But it's so good.
Well, yeah. I just don't know why I can't get into it. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm sorry.
Finish it just for me, Dane. Just finish these last 3
I
episodes. Even if there's some
I
episodes in
will.
between the last 3, just watch those last 3.
I'm gonna have to finish it before Survivor comes out. I know
Yes,
I'm gonna have to finish it
do that.
because I won't have time. But yeah. Anyway,
Okay, good. And I guess the last thing I wanted to talk about too was something I just watched yesterday, which was the Power Rangers Once and Always 30th anniversary special that hit Netflix this past week, which was celebrating the 30th anniversary of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which just in itself is one of those hard to believe anniversary milestones that the series is 30 years old already, which makes me feel older, which I am. So, but going into it, I was like excited for it, at the same time a little not hesitant, but just curious to see how much I would enjoy it, because knowing they couldn't get everyone back from the original cast, they definitely tried. So for whatever reason, Austin St. John, who played Jason the Red Ranger, didn't come back. Amy Jo Johnson played Kimberly the Pink Ranger, didn't come back, and Jason Frank, who we sadly passed away back in November. This was filmed before his passing, and they did offer him to come back, and he declined. So that wasn't the reason why he couldn't come back for it. But
how come the red and the pink didn't come back?
I don't know about the red one, but Amy Jo Johnson, like, people were saying it was money wise, but she denied that on Twitter. She's been saying it wasn't because of money. Like, I declined it for other reasons. So she didn't specifically say why either, but I'm not sure. Maybe she didn't want to go because they filmed in New Zealand. Maybe she didn't want to travel there, or didn't feel the story was right. I don't know, but she's still kind of promoting it. I know she sent out a tweet when it first premiered, kind of promoting it, saying it's out and congratulating on the 30 years. So she seems to in good spirits, at least with it. But I wonder why she didn't do it, because it would have been great to have her in it.
Why did they film in New Zealand?
I don't know. Maybe it was cheaper or cost effective. I'm not sure, but it looked good in the fight
Tax,
scenes and some of the environments they had. It looked good.
like tax reasons.
I
Maybe it
wouldn't
was like
surprise. It all comes down to money. It
yeah,
has to be for money.
right.
But
Well, I mean, isn't that the thing about Power Rangers? Is like they just really cheap out on everything.
oh yeah, I mean, the whole original series is being cheap and just licensing old Sentai footage and just filming
Yeah,
the
yeah.
very basic
Like
that you need for the American audience stuff.
non-union actors.
Yeah,
What?
although they weren't
Oh,
paid well, that's for sure.
maybe that's why she can't do it, because she's a union actress, and it's probably a non-union job.
Maybe,
That's
I'm
why
not
they film in
sure.
New
Well,
Zealand.
things could have changed because
And
Hasbro owns it now, so maybe things have changed that way. Where with Hasbro being the ownership, that caused the difference. I don't know, but I didn't look too deeply in for the
they're
reason as
paying they're paying they're paying union wages.
well.
It's not just $10 and a slice of pizza
uh,
for 8 months of work.
I don't think this was that long. That's for sure. 'Cause it was only like a 55-minute special, so pretty much just like two and a half episodes put together.
So tell me about this then.
So
how did they have like the current Power Rangers, and then I don't know, they time travel, and then like, oh, the old Rangers are back, sort of thing.
well, not really. I thought they might have gone that route, but here's the thing. So obviously it's set 30 years later. So we're catching up with them 30 years down the ride. So the only original members that came back were Walter Jones as Zach the Black Ranger, David Yost as Billy the Blue Ranger. And this was cool because this is the first time they've really come back for anything since they left the series all the way back. So it was cool to see them back. And that was the highlight of the special, because both of them are great, especially Walter Jones as Zach. He's always been one of my favorite Rangers back in the day. So to have him come back and just kind of fit right back into that role, was just really great. He did a great job. But here's the thing where, because also, there's the tragedy of the death of Chui Trang, who played Trini the Yellow Ranger back in 2001, where she died in a car accident. And so this was kind of used.
She died.
Yeah.
I didn't know she died like a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean,
what did she die from?
Just a car accident. Yeah.
I see. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it was. And then this special was kind of like in a way to pay tribute to her as well, which I think they did a nice job where the whole setup was, it was her, because in the universe she has a daughter, and the episode or the special starts with pretty much all the original Rangers. Rita has come back as a robot, and so they're facing off against her. First it was Billy, then the other Rangers come back. But here's the thing. This is where it holds the special back, where it's like they're using the characters, Jason, Kimberly, Trini, and Tommy. They're all in their costumes with the Ranger suit. They're using kind of old audio from old episodes to do like their kiosks, like the karate yells or the martial arts yells as they're fighting. And so it's them, but obviously the actors are not there. So, but the characters are, but they're still doing like these editing tricks to not really show them out of costume without their helmets. Because there's a moment where Zach and Billy take their helmets off, but the rest of the Rangers leave it on because we know the actors aren't there. So that's just like the frustrating aspect of it, where it's like they couldn't go all in for what a big 30th anniversary celebration could have been. But the story of it is they actually in the universe killed Trini off there too, where during that battle, we see Trini sacrifice herself to save Billy as Rita blasts her and she dies. And then the whole story is Zach and Billy kind of wondering how they're going to tell her daughter and should they tell her the truth, because her daughter didn't know she was a Power Ranger. But as they were debating what they should do, her daughter overheard, and that's how she found out. And then they later reveal that they tell her everything. And then it cuts to a year later to where they're going to visit her gravestone or tombstone. And then you hear the voices again of the other original Rangers as they're following Zach and Trini's daughter Min to make their way. But we hear the voices, we don't see them, and then they're morphed into their costumes already. So, but they're calling them their names like Jason, Kimberly. So we know it's them and Tommy. And Tommy's back as the Green Ranger. This is one of those things where you kind of have to roll with it, because we don't know how they got back to becoming Rangers again 30 years later, because we know that eventually their time came to an end in the series where they gave the powers to other Rangers, and the series has gone on with so many different Rangers and teams and all that stuff. So I actually want to see the story of how they came back to being Rangers as kind of like adults now. What was the reason that they got their powers back and became Rangers all these years later? That's the story I want to see. But I don't think we're going to get that unless it's in a comic book form. But
so it wasn't just like continuous where like we're 50 years old now and we've been fighting since we were 17.
Exactly. Yeah, they were the point where they weren't Rangers anymore. Yeah, they had other lives. Like Zach, they said in the special, became a congressman. Billy owned this big like tech company called Cranston Tech, and that's where he built the new command center for the Rangers to meet, like underground, his tech business, where all upstairs are employees who have no idea they're working above the Power Rangers command center. so that was kind of some cool stuff to get revealed about what happened to the characters.
Imagine if your elected official all of a sudden became a Power Ranger.
Right. Again. But it's kind of cool.
Oh, no, wait. People don't know that he's the Black Ranger.
No.
Okay. Never mind. Sorry.
It's kind of cool. I'm not sure because I'm pretty sure this was in Go-Go Power Rangers, where they kind of established that Zach kind of took an interest in politics and helping out with that as a teenager. So I wonder if that's something they pulled from those comic stories to add to his character in the series, which is kind of cool.
It would be smart.
It would, because that series is amazing, as you're experiencing. Are you still into it, or did you finish Go-Go?
No, I haven't finished it, but I think I said this last time, Tim, but am I wrong in thinking, again, I'm not a Power Rangers fan, didn't really grow up with it, didn't watch it, haven't watched any Power Rangers, really. My only interaction is the comics. Am I wrong in saying that Go-Go is better than Kyle Higgins' run?
You did mention this last time, Dave, but it's worth repeating because I agree with you. I found that out as I was reading Go-Go. I was like, man, this is really great. And think I actually like it more than the main one, which I really loved as well. So, no, you're not
Yeah.
wrong, and I agree with you.
Not that there's anything wrong with Kyle Higgins' run,
Exactly.
what he did with like the big storyline, but like I don't know, I just feel like it's more.
It's definitely more focused, like just
It's
sticking to the characters. Because
Yeah.
Kyle Higgins did he just went big with Rangers lore, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I do like how this one's more focused with the original team.
That's what I felt, and that's kind of why I was lost because I don't know the lore, and like I had to ask you, like, okay, so Tim, is the Green Ranger bad, or how come he's bad in some scenes or whatever? And like, with this one, I feel like they explain things a little better because they're not so worried about like, okay, so this has to connect to that, like you need to tell the story of this thing from the lore that's a big magical sword thing, and all of that stuff. It doesn't get bogged down by that. And I don't know. It feels a little more personal. It's more akin to the Ninja Turtles comic, where it's like it's really personal and it's really deep in the personal story, rather than we're fighting we're fighting Krang for the 18th time, sort of thing.
And it just feels very realistic of how these teenagers would deal with having this responsibility and these powers, where it is a struggle and it's not easy. Where in the TV show, it just felt like a normal thing. It's really easy to balance between your life and being a superhero, and it's great and lots of fun too. Where like nothing can go wrong. But with this one, it just really showcases how it's not easy. It is a struggle that these characters have to go through and deal with.
Okay, so like I don't know, because I was feeling a little insecure or like anxious because I was like, oh, like I'm watching all these videos and like people are saying like, or Power Rangers fans are like, this is the greatest Power Rangers thing that ever happened, and they're talking about the Kyle Higgins run, and like I'm
At
like,
the time, it was.
but and then I got to remember that Go-Go came after that, and like it's. I don't know. It's like people. I guess people were praising it, and I guess it is, because people understand the lore and how the comic connects to the original television show. And like, I don't know. All this to say, I like Go-Go better than I like Go-Go Power Rangers. Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I definitely understand why, and I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But going back to the special, so eventually the Rangers that were the actors couldn't come back. All the ones who did get captured and transformed into like these little action figures that Rita turns them into, and she's using it to power a machine that we don't know the reason why yet. But with that, once that happens, they go back to the command center and they have this protocol called the Bandora Protocol, which is the name of Rita in the original Japanese version of Power Rangers, Zoo Ranger, which is, I guess, a nice little nod to that. But with that, it calls in some of the other Rangers who replaced the original actors. So because they were able to come back, Rocky, who replaced Jason as the original Red Ranger, and Kat, who replaced Kimberly as the Pink Ranger, they came back for the special. So they were there. So we have them back. And it was cool to see them too. I mean, I got to be honest, when we had the cast change in the original series, that's where like a lot of my interest in the series went away, where it's like it's just not the same, and it never really recovered that for me as a fan back in those early days. But still, they're part of that Ranger history, and it was cool to bring them back for the special too. And I will say another great thing about the comics and in Go-Go, both Go-Go and the mainline, where it really dives into like the reasoning why they left and how the other Rangers reacted to that, and just how it wasn't as smoothly and just so awkwardly done in the TV series. It really added like the worst moment of Power Rangers history became one of the best character moments in the comics between some of those characters when some of the original members had to leave. What the comics did with that was just brilliant. I think you'll get to that eventually in Go-Go. But so yeah, we got them back, and they're able to like duplicate the powers of the original ones who weren't there to like these duplicate clones, which they kind of say, oh, it's not safe, type of thing. We don't know how this will work. This to kind of it didn't really go anywhere. They still had the same amount of power. It wasn't like they're on limited time or anything, but just I had to give a reason to why they could use the powers, while the original ones were trapped as action figures type of thing. So the action was cool in this. I mean, it was all new footage. There was no reusable Sentai footage. And it was just great seeing like those original costumes together again, because there would be these other Power Rangers series and specials where they bring back other members from other series and teams, but they just be like in the background as cameos. There would only be one character from a team. But to have all the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger costumes out here as the focus in action again, it was great. So the fan of me was really geeking out about that, and just seeing them take on like classic putties and having some redone original monsters. So there's a lot of visual nostalgia pleasing stuff that we got here. But the whole other story we're getting with Trini's daughter Min was her wanting to get revenge on Rita for killing her mom and wanted to do it as a Power Ranger, and she steals the saber-tooth tiger morpher. She tries to use it. It doesn't work. It's not something anyone can just use. And it's one of those story arcs for the character where she has to learn not to have revenge, but to act selfless. And she tries to do things like fight the putties and take on Rita, but she can't morph because she's doing it for selfish reasons. And eventually they work out a plan to go to Rita's base on the moon to see what she's doing with the captured Rangers. And it reveals she's captured other Rangers from other series. And she's pretty much powering a machine that will allow her to travel back in time and to talk to her younger self in the very first episode of the series. And her plan is to, I mean, for Power Rangers, this is kind of as dark as it gets for the TV show anyway. And it was kind of nice to actually hear characters say kill and not like, oh, I'm going to finish you or destroy you. And actually say, I'm going to kill you, and have a character actually die and say things like they're dead and type of things. It's like unheard of for Power Rangers back in the day. So Rita's plan was to talk to her younger self and have her kill all the original Rangers in their sleep before Zordon can even recruit them. That was her plan, to have them kill them before they even become Rangers, and not just anyway, do it while they're sleeping. So again, for Power Rangers, like to even think of that being some words uttered as you're watching the original series back in 1993 was like, it would have been unheard of. So it's kind of crazy to hear that type of plan be used for this special in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But come to a point where they're in the battle, Trini's daughter Min gets captured by some of the two monsters Rita has. They bring her to the palace, and then as the fight ensues, Rita was going to kill Billy the same way she killed Trini, but Min jumps in front of the blast to protect Billy. And this whole time she's holding a grudge against Billy because it was revealed Billy was trying to bring Zordon back, but while doing that, he accidentally brought the spirit of Rita back instead. And Rita, her spirit inhabited Alpha 8, the robot, his body. Because I was wondering, why is she in a robot body? Is it something that's going to be explained, or they're just doing it because whatever? But I like the reasoning. It was having her in a body of an alpha model was kind of a neat way to go about it. So that was the reason why. And because of that, obviously, Billy brought it back. Trini died because of that. So Min had a grudge against Billy throughout the course of the story, but with some words from wisdom from Zach, because Zach becomes her legal guardian since Trini died. So there were some good character moments there. Again, just Walter Jones did a great job of just not only seeing him back in action as Zach, but showing how he's grown as a character and becoming a father figure too was great to see. So Min actually jumps in front of that blast. She gets hit, but it hits the morpher, and which keeps her from dying. But with that, doing that selfless act, she's now able to use the morpher, and she morphs into the Yellow Ranger. And the battle ensues with all 5 original Rangers. Again, this is a great sight to behold with all seeing them back again. But then, of course, in typical Power Rangers fashion, we have to have the monster grow and use the Megazord. And this is probably the weakest aspect of it, where the Zords and the CG, it did not look good. I mean, I wish they just used the old style of people in suits fighting each other the old kaiju way, because it looks a lot better than this really low budgeted CG effects that we've had with the Megazord. And again, it's a Power Ranger TV special, so not expecting it to look great, but I was hoping it looked better than what it got, because it barely looked better than what we got in that 1995 movie, which is really laughable CG at this time. Looking back on it, was then, and it's even more so now. So the CG wasn't great, but seeing the Rangers back in the Zords and the Megazord cockpit, like more modern, more high tech, it's like neat. And seeing actually Billy, the Blue Ranger, be the leader and pilot it was a cool sight to behold as well. So some cool things too, regardless of the bad CG effects. So of course they defeat that monster. They're able to free the other Rangers, and they stop Rita from. She just opened the portal to see her past self, but before she can relay their plan, the robot Rita body is destroyed, and that portal closes, and they save the day. And then the ending of it was kind of cool too, to be back at their hangout, the juice bar, which was the main staple of the series where all the Rangers and kids hung out there. So to see that brought back again, and then kind of having Zach, Billy reminisce about it, and then telling stories about their time as Rangers with Min and her mom Trini was great. And the other cool thing too is where when Min touched the morpher, she able to saw memories of her mom as a Ranger, and we kind of got flashback footage of seeing Trini back with the Rangers. This cool little nods there. And then obviously she's gonna be part of the team. Zach and Billy will still remain Rangers and kind of as her mentor moving forward. And then there was a nice ending where there was an episode, I believe it was when Tommy lost his Green Ranger powers for good, where it was just all the main cast sitting at that juice bar, and like Amy Jo Johnson as Kimberly playing her guitar, singing a song, and just kind of using that again to end this episode as a tribute for all the original members of the cast was a good way to end it. And then at the very end, a tribute to Tree Trang and Jason Frank, remembering them as Rangers. So it was cool. It was better than I expected, because going into it, I was wondering how it was going to work with just only having a few members back. And again, I still think that held it back overall to have it be really special to have all the original ones who are still here to be back in it. It was disappointing, but at the same time, it was still a fun, great tribute to the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series. So overall, I had a fun time with it. I enjoyed it. Another disappointment, no Bulk and Skull. I mean, they had a fun little Easter egg that had a billboard of their sandwich business that they built, but I was hoping we'd see Bulk and Skull 30 years later, because they're without a doubt, the best characters in Power Rangers. I mean, they have the best arc. They have the best actors playing them. They're the funniest. So I was hoping for a reunion with Zach, Billy, and Bulk and Skull. That would have been cool. But yeah, it was fun. I'm glad we got it. And yeah, I just can't believe it's 30 years already. But so overall, I give it a solid 3 out of 5. I had a fun time watching it.
You know what I just read, Tim?
What's that?
We've been doing this podcast longer than Matt Harvey has had a career in baseball.
I know it. That doesn't sound too far fetched for me.
Yeah. 2012 to 21.
That's right. We beat him by 2 years.
2 years.
Tim
Lincecum also.
That's right.
But yeah, he was 2007 to, I can't remember, 2016, I think.
Man, he had like
9 years.
Like the shining as the brightest star that kind of faded away so fast. I mean, he had some great dominant years, and after that, it was just nothing.
He won 3 World Series.
Hey, he got 3 World Series, Cy Young. So I mean, I don't think he's complaining about his career.
Yeah, it's just his mechanics. It's just kind of
his size,
his career.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it, Tim?
Yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So I'll throw it to you, Dan, as always, for the outro.
All right. Just go over to BatmanUniverse.net, Facebook.com/BatmanUniverse. Twitter handle is @BatmanUniverse. Tim's Twitter handle is @TimG311. My Twitter handle is @DaneSaysBanana. Rate and review us on iTunes. iTunes doesn't exist anymore. It's a podcast, so do it over there. And if you want to email the show, you can email the show. Batfans@gmail.com. The show's Twitter handle is @BatFansPodcast. I forgot to say that. I don't think I said that, Tim. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
And you forgot to
sorry.
do my intro, Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do it unless you throw it to me the way you do. It just doesn't sound right.
It's been a while, Tim. It's been 2 weeks. How do you expect me to remember? Even though we've been doing this longer than Matt Harvey's has been in the major leagues. But like we say at the end of every single episode, Tim,
is of each and every one of you, just with 70% of our hearts, that the A's are hoping to fill the Las Vegas Stadium. So that's it.
Oh, Tim. How long were you holding on to that one? Since the beginning?
Pretty early on, yeah. I figured that would make a good one. Yeah.
You got me on that one. You got me. We'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.